What's going on, guys? It's Sports Network, and I know I'm really late on this, but I had school today, so I cannot make this video. But the New England Patriots re-signed quarterback Cam Newton to a one-year deal worth up to $14 million in incentives. And Top House Reverse reported that Cam Newton's new one-year deal with the hashtag Patriots gives them a chance to make a little more than he did in 2020, source said. But another relatively low-risk move by New England to bring back the former NFL MVP. Now, this closes the door on any trade. This closes the door that the Patriots are wanting to trade with for Garoppolo. And this closes the door on Deshaun Watson trade potentially. They were one of those teams calling for Deshaun Watson deal. But that closes the door on this. I mean, they want to re-sign Cam Newton if they're going to get him for a backup. Now, this doesn't close the door on the Patriots picking a quarterback. If one of the top 5 quarterbacks are there at 15, this does not close the door on them taking one. Because this is a great move. I'm a Patriots fan. I like this move because if you draft somebody, you can use Cam Newton as a mentor. Like, if Trey Lance slides to 15, you have to take him. Cam Newton, Trey Lance, same type of player. Trey Lance is more arm strength, but they're the same type of player. Cam Newton would be a perfect mentor for Trey Lance. So, a lot of Patriots fans are mad at this move. I'm really happy at this move. It's up to $14 million in cap space, but we have $62 million in cap space. So, this is not a big deal. $14 million, and maybe Cam Newton is the guy. Maybe he has a comeback season. He gets a full off season. As what we know right now is that there is going to be a full off season this year. Training camp. He only had 2 months of training camp last year. He had to learn the playbook super fast. And this is just the right move, I think. If you have to use him as a mentor, and they wouldn't be re-signing him if he was going to be a backup. I don't see Bill Belichick starting a rookie quarterback if they draft one, so they would have to have one sit behind Cam Newton. Now, if Micah Parsons is there, or Kyle Pitts is there, or Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, or Jalen Waddle are there, I don't see him taking a quarterback over Micah Parsons or any of the top 3 receivers or Kyle Pitts out of Florida. I don't see him doing that, but if they're all gone and a quarterback's there, then yeah, definitely take a chance on a quarterback, and you have Cam Newton to mentor him. But now we got some details on the deal, so the Patriots are re-signing Newton to a 1-year contract. NFL Network's Tom Pasalo confirmed on Friday, per a source informed of the situation. Jim McBride of the Boston Globe first reported the news. Newton can earn up to $14 million on the deal, but it will take a lot to get there. NFL Network's Mike Garafalo reported that the pact is made up of $1.5 million in guaranteed base salary, a $2 million signing bonus, $1.5 million in per-game roster bonuses, and $9 million in incentives for reaching the playoffs, making the Pro Bowl, and all-pro teams being named MVP or Super Bowl MVP, among other things. So, it gets up to $9 million in incentives if he makes the playoffs, makes the Pro Bowl, or an all-pro team, or he wins MVP or Super Bowl MVP. So, there's obviously, I don't think there's any chance of that happening. The one that has the best chance of happening is probably the Patriots making the playoffs. But I don't see him making the Pro Bowl or anything else. So, I mean, if the Patriots don't make the playoffs, then it depends what you think of the Patriots. If you think they're going to be a good team, but if they're going to be a bad team, that's pretty much $9 million that he's not going to get. So that is not bad. If you're a Patriots fan though, there's like you get like $5 million. I gotta do some quick math here. Yeah, it'd be around $5 million, I think. I'm not gonna do full math, but yeah, he'll be around $5 million. So yeah, so it's right here at $5 million with $3.5 million guaranteed. Newton will make about as much as a backup quarterback Chase Daniel will in Detroit this season. While there's significant upside thanks to incentives, Newton is being paid as if he could eventually be the Patriots' backup, which He might. If Bill Belichick's feeling confident in a rookie and he thinks Cam Newton is not going to be the guy to take him to the playoffs at midseason, maybe they trade for a quarterback at the trade deadline. Who knows what Bill Belichick's plan is? But all I know is that Bill Belichick is the GOAT of coaching. He knows what he's doing. But Cam played 2020 in New England on a one year deal for $1.775 million. With heavy incentives. 31-year-old started 15 games, completing 65.8% of his passes for 2,657 yards, with 8 touchdowns and 10 INTs. His passer rating of 82.9 placed him 22nd overall among qualifying quarterbacks per NFL research. Newton also added 592 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns on the ground. So his incentive last year was the same incentives as this year. I mean, obviously, I think he's going to be way better this year. He's going to be able to learn the playbook and full off season. I think it's going to be better this year. Like, I don't know what the Patriots fans are really mad at this. I am okay. I'm very okay with this deal. Plus I don't have to get a new jersey because Cam Newton's doing the team. So yeah, and then So, Newton missed one game after testing positive for COVID-19 early in the season. The quarterback said this offseason that missing that time put him behind and partially led to struggles later in the 2020 season, which is obviously true. COVID-19 is kind of a serious virus, and I mean, if you get it, you're not like there's not really a high chance of being fully recovered. So yeah, that is understandable. Maybe he can recover this offseason. And he can be back in training camp in June, and he can lead the Patriots to the playoffs hopefully. And his passer rating was 177.1, and touchdown interception ratio among 26 quarterbacks with 10 plus starts in 2020. However, Newton accounted for 13 of the Patriots' 32 scrimmage touchdowns in 2020. 40.6%, the highest percentage by any player in the NFL. Next closest quarterback was Arizona Kyler Murray with 22.4%. Cam was the number 17 player on NFL.com list of top 101 free agents at the time of his deal. Yeah, I mean, Kyler Murray, like, there's a big step here. 22.4% and 40.6%. That is a huge deal. So, here we go. We have the reunion trying to come as a surprise, as NFL Network's Mike Girardi noted earlier this month. Coach Belichick has spoken encouragingly about Newton, and the quarterback has just said he'd like to remain in New England. Yeah, I mean, he thinks that Newton has potential. I mean, yeah, Bill Belichick thinking Newton has potential, and Newton thinks New England has potential. And I mean, this is also a big deal for the receivers because if you think about it, when you're trying to sign free agents, you're going to be like, who's the quarterback going to be? And it sounds better to say, oh, Cam Newton's going to be a starting quarterback, and other than saying, I don't know, probably Jared Stidham or somebody in the draft. So that takes a huge step of signing free agents. I think more players are going to want to play with Cam Newton than Jimmy Garoppolo, though. And Jimmy Garoppolo is very injury prone. Cam Newton isn't that injury prone. Well, I mean, he actually has a couple last years, 2-3 years, but, yeah, on last month he was asked on the I Am Athlete podcast if he would welcome a return to the Patriots from NFL, and MVP was emphatic and said, yes, hell yes, I'm getting tired of changing teams, Newton said. Now Newton won't have to change teams for at least one more season. Having a full offseason under offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels should help Newton's progress in year 2 in New England. Re-signing the veteran is at least a tactic, single that the Pats believe the surrounding situation had more to do with the offense's struggles than Newton's play. There's no getting around that quarterback passing must be improved in 2021. At time last season, Newton missed passes, brutally throwing sinkers into the dirt and really stretched the field. Those issues must be smoothed out moving forward. They do need to be smoothed out. Cam Newton was absolutely atrocious throwing the ball this year. Me too against Seattle. That was probably his best performance of the year. and they lost that game. But Cam Newton, I think this guy is going to be okay going forward. And now it's on the Patriots to use their significant cap space to buffer the offense with additional playmakers that will make life easier on the quarterback. Re-signing Newton to a one-year deal won't preclude Belichick from searching for a long-term solution. Partially in the draft ahead of the start of the free agency, with few options to add a veteran signal caller. However, keeping Newton in New England makes sense for all parties. Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. Cam Newton, he's a decent quarterback in this league. He is not a bad quarterback. Cam Newton is a decent quarterback, and if you give him a full offseason, Cam Newton, I believe he's going to take a huge step this year in progression, and as they're gonna attract more free agents now, saying that Cam Newton's gonna be the starter, other than saying, I don't know, who's gonna be your starter. So I mean, this is a really good contract here. There's $14 million, possibly $9 million being cut out. So it's like $3 million. $3.5 million guaranteed. Because if he doesn't make the playoffs or win MVP or make the Pro Bowl or make an All-Pro team or win MVP, that's $9 million out of the deal. So if the Patriots are gonna be bad this year, then that's $9 million cut off, and that's not bad if you draft somebody in the draft. You can use Newton as a mentor, and then if you're going to be bad this year, then that's $9 million cut out of the deal. So you got $3.5 million guaranteed. Plus we got 62 million in cash space. So I think it's a good move. Cam Newton is coming back to the New England Patriots. I think it's a good move. Tell me down in the comments below what you think about this, and till next time.